Some of our new arrivals this week. How about the 1952 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe Sedan? Cardinal red and white over white. 2-owner car from 1952.
Amazing.
That is 10 years older than moi. This thing was garage kept, known history, impeccable presentation, 235 cubic inch inline 6. I guess that would be the Blue Flame 6.
Kind of sporty, yeah.
Yeah, kind of sporty. 3-speed manual. Tree on the tree.
Yeah. What I love about this car is that it has, I don't know if it's called articulated hips, the fenders in the back, but not in the front.
Yeah, they're bulgy in the back.
But not in the front, so it's like very sporty. It looks like it's moving.
Yeah, it does. It's in motion even when it's standing
That's
still.
Exactly right.
So a wonderful car and a kind of an entry level to get into. A sedan is not the top of the heap when it comes to value. The convertibles or the 2-door hardtops come to mind of what, the ones that are going to be the most valuable. But it's a great car to drive. And I talk to people all the time that have these and say, when I'm driving, when I'm in the driver's seat, I can't tell if it's a 4-door, a 2-door, or
That's right.
It's just it's the same perspective, And a wonderful car, and like I said, reasonable. And you can find all of these cars that I'm going to talk about on our website, classicautomall.com. How about the 1968 Datsun 2000 Roadster? Oh man, I love these.
Yeah.
Pagoda red over black. Well, you said that sarcastically.
No, I don't.
Do you?
I like them too.
Yeah, do I prove it?
Do you really, though?
Do you really? Frame off restored, redone 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 5-speed manual with a new clutch. Very rare model. You see the 1600s, but not quite as much the 2000s. They were just obviously a 2-liter versus a 1.6-liter for the 1600s, which I'm not sure the horsepower difference is 10 maybe or 11 horsepower difference. But but this one is nicely done and a great driver, and one that you take to a show, you'll be the only one there.
That's for sure.
I mean, no question about it. And a lot of people don't understand or know that some of the Japanese imports started way earlier than the 80s, when everybody kind of thought about Hondas and all that. Hondas were building cars, bringing to the United States in the 60s and winning in Formula One in the 60s. And we should have paid more attention to that. I think we would have, things would have been a little different. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. And the modern version of the Datsun 2000 is the 84 Pontiac Fiero Sport Coupe. Bright red over black and gray, 17,000 actual miles. 2 owners from new, just immaculately preserved. This has got a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 4-speed manual. Again, an affordable classic, something that you can enjoy. Oh, they're fun to drive, and they'll get a thumbs up everywhere you go, and you stop at the gas station, and everybody will want to know what it is. And Pontiac to a lot of people is foreign. They haven't seen.
And Fieros used to be all over the place. I mean, now it's rare to see one.
Yeah, you don't see them hardly at all anymore, and I don't know why that is. And of course, the last version is
the GT.
The GT with a 5-speed get rag manual, and it was the most power. And then they just stopped making it.
That's it.
We got it good, and then we quit.
But it's a mid-engine car, and the C8 is not the first mid-engine car
exactly.
from GM.
Yeah. Also, new arrival, the 68 Chrysler Newport, sky blue metallic over light blue. I love the body style of this car.
This car is, I didn't know anything about these until we got one, and I'm like, I have to have this car. Yeah. If space and money were no object, this would be in my collection just because it's so unique and wild.
It is so wild looking, and the color's good on it. It's that sky blue metallic over a light blue interior. Something about that body style is just really sexy. There's something about it.
So different.
And this thing's got a 440 in it.
Yeah, that helps.
So that is sexy too. With an A727 automatic. I mean, it's got the original interior. It's got, all the bells and whistles from the day. And let's talk about an underappreciated or underlooked upon car. I think those are going to surprise you in 5 or 10 years, where people realize what they are and what they,
Yeah, and again, this is one of those cars you'd be the only one at the car show.
Absolutely.
The angles on this car is amazing, and frankly, it's reasonable.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with being the only one in the car show.
No, it's really good.
You go to some of these car shows and there's 30 of whatever you're driving, and that's okay. I mean, that's fine. Listen, there's strength in numbers, and people like the similar things, and there's a reason that Camaros outsold Chrysler Newports, or, fill in the blank of any of that. But,
and Mopar designers were just such motorheads. I mean, putting 440, these big horsepower mills in these cars was just wow.
And then another interesting 1960s, kind of affordable. They're starting to get pricey. Is the AMC 1968 AMC AMX. It's black over black. And I'm telling you, black is a great color for an AMX. I don't think I've seen many of them in black.
No.
But that one really stands out. It's got the 290 cubic inch V8, 39,000 actual miles, long-term ownership, and a Borg Warner T10 manual. blast to drive. Little pocket rockets. They were overlooked back then. I didn't know much about them when I started getting into cars. And, I followed the path of Trans Ams and Camaros and that kind of thing. And I think if I'd have known about the AMXs or had any inkling of what they were, I think I would have paid more attention.
Yeah.
I wish I had too. I said we had a dealer in the next big city near me, and you just didn't pay attention.
No, they were just another car. So, and last but not least, the 1930 Ford Model A Sport Coupe, elk point green and Kiwani green over brown.
All right.
LeBaron body interior, 201 cubic inch inline four, which will basically run forever. It's got the correct colors and well restored. This is a nice car.
Yeah, I can't remember. I probably wrote it in the description what Kiwani green is.
Right.
Because I didn't know what it was. I'm like, where do they get these names?
Yeah, the names were. I love the color names. That's why I always talk about them in here. They were just a lot of fun to talk about, and they had some interesting colors. And sometimes cars would be tricolored interiors and two tones on the exterior, which you don't hardly see anymore. I was driving by a car lot the other day, and I looked over, and it was a sea of gray and black and white and just nondescript. And there was one like a neon green, neon maybe. I don't know if it was a neon, but it was something little and small and bright green, and it stood out like a sore thumb. And maybe not in a bad way, I mean, people have become a little bit, jaded when it comes to.
There's the current Genesis ad out now for the GV, which is the 70 and 80, which are their SUVs. And they have some two-tone interiors that are pretty striking.
Nice. I'm glad to see that. So some of the new arrivals this week. How about the 73 MG MGB GT? Those are all capital letters. It's like like MG's yelling at you.
It's a lot of
MG MGB MG GT BB.
All right. I get it.
A lot of characters.
Yeah. So a damask red over navy blue, nicely restored and preserved. The 1 year only color combo. It's got the rebuilt 1.8 liter inline four and the rebuilt 4-speed manual with a rebuilt overdrive. Very desirable, the overdrive in these things. It makes the driving difference just a completely different thing. This thing mechanically is just spot on. It's just dialed in. I know the guy really well who consigned the car. And, it's driver quality exterior wise and cosmetically, which is great because you can enjoy it. Just get in it and enjoy it. But mechanically, it's gone through, it's sorted, just as we were talking about earlier. It's one of those ones that you can get in and drive it just about anywhere.
That's important.
And it's got all the receipts and documentation. And again, that's important. Other new arrival is the 1956 Chevrolet 150 two-door sedan in Matador Red and India Ivory, which is a great color combination on these.
Striking.
Over red and white interior. And it's a 150, so what a lot of people do with these, so in the Tri-5 Chevy, 1955, 56, and 57, there was a 150, a 210, and a Bel Air.
Right.
And they were all looked somewhat similar. They just had varying degrees of trim and extra chrome and extra parts and bigger engines. So a lot of these guys, when they resto mod, which is what this car is, they take a 150, so they don't ruin a good Bel Air, which was the kind of the top. Well, it was the top of the line in the Tri-5 Chevy world. This one's got a 383 stroker V8, 653 miles since built, turbo hydromatic 400 3-speed automatic. Got the classic Tri-5 look with the modern resto mod, if you will, reliability and a little bit of power. That 383 stroker.
I bet
those are quite the motor.
Well, and the cheaper Chevys then are cheaper now. If you're trying to buy a Bel Air, but you still want to resto mod it or modernize it,
you buy the 150 or the 210. Next, the 1932 Ford 18 Roadster, flame red over saddle, Westcott's fiberglass body, which are the ones that you want if you're getting a fiberglass body. They're really well done and highly respected. Built and bored 392 cubic inch Hemi V8.
Good Lord.
Wow. This thing doesn't weigh a whole lot.
It doesn't have wheelie bars either, I don't see.
It does not.
It doesn't, so be careful.
The difference in weight between a steel car and a fiberglass car is Probably 1,000 pounds, probably more than that. Isn't it?
I don't know.
I would like to know that. Please find that out.
I will check that out. It depends on the gauge of the steel.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the car.
Yeah. I mean, you go bump into one of these 1940s Oldsmobiles with those steel fenders and you'll break your hand. You punch a new car with a metal fender and you'll go right through it.
That's true. It's thin.
Yeah, very thin.
For lightness.
A Richmond 5-speed manual in this car. Okay. Buick finned drum brakes, which are really cool looking. When you can see in there for the wheels and see those big brakes. Hallebrand wheels, which are not cheap.
That's correct.
And a Ford 9-inch track lock axle. It's funny that it's all the different things. So you've got a Richmond 5-speed with a Hemi V8 with a Ford rear. It's all these different manufacturers and parts and stuff that go together. But this one has been really well sorted. Next, the 1960 Chevrolet Corvette convertible, tuxedo black and sateen silver over red. Ooh. Numbers matching 283 cubic inch V8, nicely restored, stunning colors. Got the Muncie M20 manual. Don't believe it's the original transmission to the car. And great chrome on this thing. And this, I don't know, a 60 Corvette is just really a cool looking car, and especially in black and silver with red interior.
It's just amazing that these were just like regular cars. They were never sort of regular, but the fact that they were common and this is the design that they came out with, amazing.
Yeah, you would see. And then, of course, in '63, when the Stingray came out, it was like aliens had landed.
Yeah, exactly.
Craziest thing ever.
They did bring this back from space.
Yes, they did. Next, 1972 Volkswagen Super Beetle convertible, red over black, which is a great color for those.
Yeah.
8,800 title verified actual miles, we think. We don't know for sure. Right. That's what the title says.
Yeah.
So we'll go with the title. Most of them get exempted after 10 years, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. If you're, if you know the car, if grandma only drove it 8,000 miles, and Pennsylvania or your whatever state you're in puts exempt on it, kind of hurts the value of it.
It's true.
Because then you can't really have it. You don't have any documentation and paperwork to follow. Now, cars built after 1981. You've got Carfaxes, which will kind of trace the lineage and history of the car and how many miles and all that. But not always easy to know. This one's got 1,600 cc flat 4-cylinder, 4-speed manual transmission, rust-free example. And last but not least, the 1959 Plymouth Fury hardtop Aqua Mist over Highland Green and Aqua Mist. It's a great color.
That's a big car.
And it's a big car, and it stands out. Garage kept. You better have a big old garage.
Measure your garage.
Awesome Ford design look. 318 cubic inch poly V8. Got the push button torque flight automatic trans. And just a smooth operator, smooth cruiser. You just cruising on the 318. People go, it's only a 318. That's a pretty good motor.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need. How fast do you want to go in a Plymouth that weighs 19,000 pounds?
That's right.
I mean, it's got enough chrome on it. Probably weighs more than me.
Yeah, easily.
Well, and the 59 Ford had those big round taillights, and the Chevy had those big cat's eyes. And this one was kind of a sleeper with a little smaller taillights, but it had a real interesting front end.
Yeah, but that Aqua Mist really does it well. So when we return, we'll continue our conversation on the Classic Auto Mall Show. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. How about this one? The 2019 McLaren 570S Coupe, silica white and dark palladium over black, 2,978 actual miles, 3.8 liter twin turbo V8. What a car! A 7-speed electro hydraulic transmission. It's got the high downforce kit, which makes it stick to the road even more.
Sure.
And the Fab Speed X Pipe, which gives it quite a distinctive sound.
Right, Fab Speed, of course, right here in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania.
They are. I didn't even know that.
Yep,
cool.
Very local companies.
There's a lot of local speed shop type companies around here. What's the wiring company? Ron Francis.
Oh,
they're from around here. They do hot rods.
Okay.
Don't act surprised.
No, that one I don't know. There is a lot. There's quite a bit in Pennsylvania.
Well, thanks for
as we've said before. This is quite the car
culture.
Well, the McLaren is also quite the car.
Oh, yes, and it is quite the car.
It's not just classics here at the Auto Mall.
There's Chester County classics or some car customs that John DiFilippo has.
Right.
Also. roll cages and stuff.
I love that somebody left a 4-star review from us on Google that said there should be more new cars in there.
Right.
Well, we have a few. How about the other new arrival, the 1988 Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z28? Those are so cool. Bright red over saddle, which is the best color.
That's the car to have.
It's the car to have. Now, it's a one-owner car with 59,000 original miles.
Nice.
Pampered and garage kept. It's got the 305 cubic inch V8 with a 5-speed manual.
Yes.
Which is that kind of unusual, the 5-speed manual?
Probably.
I mean, with the 305, not the 350.
Right. Probably more automatic sold than manuals.
I would say so, too, because at that point in time, people weren't really hip to the whole manual thing.
Right.
Although I love driving my manual transmission car. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Unless you're in stop-and-go traffic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Traffic is the worst.
When we were coming back from Audrain, it rerouted us from 95 to the Merritt Parkway. And 60-mile drive on the Merritt Parkway took about 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Did you have a stick shift? Were you
I did not, thank God.
Right.
And that's the one thing I said to Kathy. Thank God we didn't take the stick, because I was already livid. How about the 1998 Dodge Viper RT10? Viper red over charcoal and black, 23,000 actual miles, 525 or so horsepower, estimated. 8-liter V10, Tremec T56 manual. It's got the one-piece removable roof. Is that called a Targa roof on a Viper? And I don't really never heard them referred to as a Targa per se.
Technically it is, but I don't think they call it.
They don't call it that.
It's probably a thirsty V10.
Yes. Oh, I would imagine. And this one was well maintained. Other new arrival, the 1978 Toyota Corolla sedan.
Cool.
Chrome yellow over black. Got the fender rear view mirrors.
Yep.
Fresh paint and interior. 1.6 liter Hemi. That thing got a Hemi in it? Why, yes, it does. And what people don't realize is a Hemi is not necessarily a big V8 motor with a gazillion horsepower.
No.
Hemi is the way the combustion chamber works. And that's about as technical as you're ever going to hear me get on this show, because I'm not really that technical.
Good move.
Don't tell anybody. I have no idea what I'm talking about. JDM mirrors, which are the ones aforementioned mirrors on the
extended
fenders.
out there.
Midnight Club Ready. Now, what does that mean?
Midnight Club Ready. I don't know what that
You
means.
wrote it.
No, I did not write that
Peter
one.
wrote that one?
Yeah, that's
all right. Well, we'll have to call Peter.
Peter 6753. Yeah, that would be Peter.
Because we know you wrote odd, he wrote even.
That's right. Yeah,
vice versa.
Right.
Other new arrival, how about the 2008 Aston Martin V8 Vantage convertible? Boy, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, just
this one is Mercury Silver Metallic over Sahara Tan. Oh, this thing's all used up. 13,000 miles on it.
Barely broken.
Mine's got 5,000.
Really?
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah, 5,200 or something. This thing, 13,000 miles is nothing. Well maintained, 4.3 liter double overhead cam V8, 6-speed automatic. This is a luxury supercar. This thing is got performance, but it's comfortable and it's enjoyable to drive. And it's some of these things. A Viper it's a lot to drive. It's a lot. I mean,
that's a toy.
It's
that's more
toy.
of a toy.
Yeah, it's not something you want to take, as we were just talking in traffic jams. You know, it's something you want to get out on the open road, or you want to get through some of these curvy back roads and go have fun with it. But
well, and it looks so darn good.
Oh my God, it does. Next in line is the 1966 Ford Mustang Fastback. Silver frost over black and ivory. I don't know. There's something about a fastback body style in a Mustang that's about as cool as they ever
It
get.
is.
But didn't you say you didn't see them a lot when you were growing up?
Didn't know about them much. There was a lot of cars that I didn't know about that I thought I knew, but I really, I would pay attention, but not enough. I was reading Road and Track and Car and Driver and Motor Trend and Popular Hot Rodding and Hot Rod and whatever other one. But this one, like I said, the great fastback lines, 302 cubic inch V8, 4-wheel power disc brakes. It's got a top loader manual. Great color combination. That silver frost really has. Beautiful. It really makes those lines work well. And silver's not always the greatest car or greatest color for a car. Thank you.
I think fastbacks would look good in anything.
I think so too. We had one in that turquoisey blue.
Yeah.
Turquoisey. Is that a word?
Turquoisey.
That sounds like a town in Jersey. Turquoisey.
Turquoisey blue.
Turquoisey, New Jersey.
And I think it would look good in primer, actually. They're just great looking cars.
Other new arrival. Now, this one's really cool. The 1975 Buick Electra Limited 2-door hardtop. Silver mist over burgundy. 17,676 actual miles.
Yeah. Somebody put this one away. It's a land yacht.
I tell you, the interior is just amazing. It's just hard to believe that it's held up so well. And you know, I find myself surprised at cars held up so well with low mileage. Even more surprising is cars that are like this that have 100,000 miles on them, that the interior is equally as nice. Right. And how did it not get worn on the bolsters and, you know, all the velour? I mean, velour doesn't do well with weight on it forever.
Right.
And so
plus mice love it. So
mice love it. Yeah. This one's amazingly well preserved. 455 cubic inch V8. Really nicely optioned. This is a show car.
I mean, good luck finding another one in this condition.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Other new arrivals. How about the 1967 Buick Skylark convertible? Apple red over black. They couldn't afford the candy apple? Or is that a variant of red?
I don't know. It's a variant.
That's a good question, though.
It is. It is.
Excellent question.
There's bright red. There's about 100 different
reds.
Candy,
there's candy apple red. There's,
yep.
There's Firestorm. Or what is the brownish, bronzy looking
like a burnt orange?
Yeah, it's like a firestorm.
Firethorn.
Firethorn. That's it. Very good. This one's this 1967 Buick Skylark convertible is one of 6,319 built. 300 cubic inch 2-barrel V8. I didn't even know there was a 300 cubic inch. Buick had some odd engine sizes.
They did.
261s and 300s.
Yeah, a 301.
And 301s and just bizarre. So the ST200 2-speed automatic, top-down fun and mid-60s cool.
Who wrote that?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was being...
No, I didn't. Some of these you get off the abbreviations, and I don't do those. I don't edit them. I don't.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll stop giving you credit where credit is not due.
That's right.
Dadgum. See, I've been giving you all this credit.
See, anytime you see the word skate and hallowed halls,
you know that's
not me.
That's not you. Yeah. So I'm going to have to rethink all this. Other new arrivals, the 2015 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS Coupe, black over black, a worked 6.2 liter V8. I kind of jumped when I said that.
Yeah, you see
worked.
that.
You see that?
You see it on YouTube.
Yeah. You see the twitching arm. I don't know what happened there.
It's amazing how many of these late model Camaros are modified.
Oh my God!
The horsepower.
This one's got nitrous. It's got a limited slip axle. The 6-speed automatic. It's a sinister retro modern look. You write that?
I don't know. It depends on where you got it.
Don't know where I got it.
But
I got it
is a sinister.
Wherever I got getting things. So, it's like I said, it was nitrous equipped, so you can really put the go juice to it if you need to.
That's right.
You know that I have driven lots of cars with nitrous, but I've never driven a car and engaged the nitrous.
Oh,
have you?
No, never.
See,
never.
You looked at me like you were gonna,
No, I don't. I don't. It's funny how these fast cars out of the factory, it's not fast enough for a lot of guys. They have to, I had a Grand National back in the day, and I had probably the only stock Grand National.
Everybody wanted it fast.
And there's just so many tweaks out there. It's amazing.
So some of the new arrivals this week, the 1970 Toyota Land Cruiser, charcoal gray over light gray. It's a California truck, which is important. Why is that important, you say? Well, because they're likely not have any rust on them. Very rarely do they have salt on the roads in SoCal. And that's a good thing to know. It's got the rebuilt 3.9-liter inline 6, 5-speed manual. Drivable dream, we'd like to say.
That's right.
Coming up next, how about the 1995 Porsche 911 Carrera in iconic, and we say it again, Guards Red, which is a beautiful Porsche color over black. 2-owner Porsche, 40,607 actual miles, garage kept, recently serviced. Got the 3.6-liter 6-cylinder, which is just an amazing engine. I mean, I don't know if it gets much better than that. 6-speed manual tranny, so you're not searching for that last gear. You got all you need. How about the 2007 BMW Alpina B7 sedan? This thing is so cool. It's got some miles on it, but it's priced accordingly. And it's a great driver quality car. Jet black over black, supercharged 4.4-liter V8. It is a family rocket ship.
Yeah.
This thing is so
fairly
cool.
rare, too.
Fairly rare. You don't see many of the B7 Alpinas.
Not on this side of the coast, anyway.
No, I mean, these are the big 7 Series. These are the biggest BMW that they made, and then they turned it into a hot rod.
Yep.
And 6-speed automatic, and they're hot rodded 7 Series. So. Other new arrival, how about the 1928 Ford Model A Roadster pickup? This may be the nicest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This thing
got me thinking about something.
Okay.
So this is what it looked like in the showroom or the dealership back in the day. What level of care did people, how much did they care about keeping a car clean? Because
I don't think they
the roads were dirt.
Yeah, I don't think they cared at all, especially on a truck.
Exactly.
And a Roadster pickup would have been something you would have used to haul to the farmer's market to sell your cantaloupes or kumquats or
right. So all the detailing we do now on cars and stuff, it wasn't an issue.
No, nobody was like, "Did you? Should I wash it? I washed it 6 months ago. What do you expect?"
Right.
So, this thing, though, is. I mean, it didn't look like this on the showroom. I can guarantee.
That's what I mean. Better than new.
Yeah, flawless restoration. AACA Senior and Grand National first wins.
Yeah,
it's got the 201 cubic inch 4-cylinder with the 3-speed manual, and this thing is the nicest one I probably have ever.
And
seen.
It won't last because we talked about Model A's.
Yeah,
it lasts. Weird noise coming in.
So some of the new arrivals, how about the 1941 Ford Super Deluxe Woody station wagon? Tucson tan and mahogany and birch over brown. So it had mahogany and birch wood on it. That's so cool. Ooh. Well,
nice.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was the best one he's done.
We love that one.
We love that one, and that was great timing and excellent. So way to go. You get a raise.
Thanks.
But mahogany and birch is interesting, the two different wood types that they use because of I'm guessing because of maybe the strength or because of the color.
Yeah, probably.
More aesthetic than...
Yeah, a little both.
Well, you know that all the roofs on the Model A's and the Model T's were wooden back in the day.
That's right.
Because they didn't have enough steel.
Right. Well, it turns out this was a happy accident with Woodies because they were built, I learned through doing the descriptions, that they were built as a way to save money, as an economy thing. It wasn't for style.
For style.
It was just cheaper than steel.
Really? It turned out to be very stylish.
Yeah.
I mean,
way
stylish.
Right. And now they're like sought after.
Yeah. I mean, what a cool way to pull up to the lake with your kids and a picnic basket in the back and your 1941 Ford Super Deluxe Woody station wagon. 3-speed manual with a Columbia overdrive, so it's drivable. And what I mean by that is that it will be going down the highway, and that overdrive just helps it get a little more legs, because there's nothing worse than driving something that needs another gear.
For sure.
Yeah, you're in a 4-speed something, and you need that 5th gear. And how about the 1959 Ford Galaxie Skyliner? Retractable hardtop.
Oh, which is commonplace now.
They're commonplace now, but boy, I mean, if you think back in 1959,
right,
and you saw that, I don't think I ever saw one when I was a kid growing up.
No.
That trunk lid lifted up, and that whole top picked up and moved in there, and then there was a little, like a box, if you will, in there that had the luggage, and it was custom luggage that fit perfectly in there.
I had somebody tell me about that. There's all these servos. It's not even the newer ones. I've got a hardtop convertible, and it's computerized. These were all servos and manual clicking switches and stuff, and they were a nightmare.
And when they went wrong,
good luck.
Yeah, you were like, I think my car just accidentally ran off a cliff. Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
This thing, torch red and colonial white over red and raven black. The retractable roof, I love it when somebody, when the retractable roofs first came out, and people were like, hey, look at this fancy thing. And we go, well, let me show you 1959, Pally.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they had you beat from a long time ago. It's like the slide outs on a Prevost bus. Go look at our 1923 Chevrolet Weedman camper. It had a slide out from 1923. So, duh.
Kind of a slide out. But electric cars were 1902, right? Studebaker built the first electric car in 1902.
The Baker, the Roush, there was a bunch of electric cars.
How about that?
And they made sense. And they were, of course, the charging stations looked very complex back then. So.
Yeah.
And this one, the Ford Galaxie Skyliner, has the Ford-O-Matic automatic.
Of course it does.
And it's heavily optioned.
And what was the soft top called?
I don't know.
The Sunliner.
The Sunliner. Right. Oh, you're right.
You're right.
Very good.
A lot of liners.
How about the 2006 Maserati Grand Sport Coupe? Grigio Palladio over black, 15,000 actual miles, recent service, 4.2 liter, 396 horsepower, double overhead cam V8. Man, this car will go.
Yeah.
They are so cool.
And sound good.
And sound great. And overlooked. People walk right past that car. Then I go, did you notice that? And they go, oh. And then when they stop and take it all in, they're blown away.
It's a good looking car, and only 2,613 of them were produced between 2004 and 2007.
Look at you. Contributing to the show.
Mr. Stat.
Little factoid there.
See, you should be, now I'm gonna rely heavily on you to know what the batting average of Mookie Wilson was back. Yeah.
Stat of the day.
So this is a great car. It's a supercar styling without the supercar price. I mean, it's a very reasonably priced car for what you get, almost 400 horsepower. And you say, oh, that's not a lot. That is a lot. It's a ton of horsepower. Go drive that thing and tell me it's not enough horsepower, and I dare you to knock this battery off my shoulder. How about the 1928 Ford Model A Roadster pickup? This thing is stunning. This thing is just maroon and black over black, comprehensive restoration, converted to 12 volts, which makes it start a little bit easier. And sometimes those 6 volts are a little twicky. Aluminum intake with a 2-barrel carb.
That's
Isn't that funny? A 2-barrel carb was like, whoa.
It's a big deal in 28.
Yeah. When most of them were 1-barrel downdrafts. So they were upside down. So the fuel just leaked out.
Yep. They were on the side of the engine, right?
How do it know how to get the fuel up when it's pointing? It's like
magic.
It's like the thermos. How does it know if you put coffee in the morning or iced tea in the morning? It's either one's hot or one's cold, and I don't understand how it knows the difference.
Martians.
I think it could be. Or marshmallows.
Yeah.
What a wonderful, wonderful Roadster pickup. How about the 1969 Jaguar XKE Series 2 Roadster, indigo blue over red? Oh, man, that's a mic drop car.
It's a nice one.
That blue is just, it's just spectacular. It's just the best color for that car. And the red interior just really sets it off. It's got 45,000 actual miles. A near perfect restoration. Few little flaws here and there, but nothing to speak of. It's got the 4.2 liter double overhead cam, inline 6, 3 SU carbs. It's got the Series 1 headlight conversion, which I love as the covered headlights.
Right.
So cool.
Better, much better.
It completes the look.
It really does.
Some things look better with things added on, and some things don't look better. But this actually looks much better.
A little factoid about this one: Frank Sinatra owned one. As well as some other celebrities. It was a big celebrity car.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I've created a monster here.
Yes.
He's going to factoid me to death. But you know what? That's interesting. And that's what people want to know. And people like to know these little factoids. Right. And I'm going to try to beat you to the punch, though.
All right.
The 1975 Chevrolet Corvette convertible. This is a car that we've seen so many of them for the years, and I say this all the time, and you walk right past them, and you just don't think much about them. But when you stop and look at this car in this medium saddle interior,
beautiful,
with the medium saddle metallic exterior and the medium saddle interior, and it's got side pipes, and and the hard top, it's just a cool looking car. Yep. That brown, something about it, and the paint it's like kilometers deep. Oh, no. Sorry.
You're in Denmark. You're in
Denmark thing. Yeah. Miles deep. Numbers matching 350, L48, which is the 180-ish horsepower versus the 210.
Right.
Borg-Warner T10 manual. Hard top and the soft top.
Yes.
Richly appointed interior. And it's got an Edelbrock intake and carb. And it's the last year for a while. Was that yours?
That was it. I wrote that down.
Last year for a while for the convertible.
For a convertible. Last Corvette convertible till 1986.
How about the 2007 Hummer? Gosh, I can't speak today. H3.
Hummer
Victory red over light cashmere. I like to say cashmere because cashmere is expensive.
Cha-ching. All right, sound effects are off.
Victory red over light cashmere. One owner, garage kept, all service records, capable rig, 3.7 liter inline 5-cylinder, and well appointed. And it's affordable. It's a lot of vehicle for the money.
Yes.
These things are really, really cool. And they didn't hold their value quite as well as I think people thought that they would in the H3, the smaller version of the Hummer. But it's certainly more user-friendly than the big Hummer that you can't get through the drive-thru at the Burger King.
You can always tell a car enthusiast, especially by the condition of cars that we bring in. This one's a little higher mileage, but you would never know it. And, I even made a comment about the undercarriage because you really had to double check the mileage. The undercarriage is spotless, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch people that like their seats aren't worn on the edges where they've gotten in and out, and it's got 100,000 miles on it. And you think, how in the world do they get in so gingerly? And I think a fan favorite, a car specialist favorite here at Classic Automall has to be our next new arrival, the 1965 Ford Falcon Deluxe station wagon. Everybody fell in love with this little station wagon. Silver blue metallic over dark blue and light blue. The long roof, I mean, really, it looks like you said. What'd you say?
I said it looks like it's floating because the pillars are silver. So
289 cubic inch V8, the C4 automatic.
Yeah.
Great two-stage paint. Two-stage paint, what does that mean? They do it in 2 stages?
It's clear coat, base coat.
Clear coat, base coat, 2-stage. So if you say that, so people won't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And it's rust-free.
It's a beautiful, we're all surprised it's still here. So if you're in the market for a 65 Falcon station wagon, that's just about perfect.
It speaks to you when you look at it. The stance, the color, that light icy blue color is just a great color on it. How about the 1971 Dodge Challenger RT hardtop? Top banana over black. I love those names.
That must be yellow.
That must be yellow. True RT car, 440 cubic inch. How about the 1971 Dodge Challenger RT hardtop? Top banana over black. I love those names.
That must be yellow.
That must be yellow. True RT car, 440 cubic inch, six-pack V8, A727 automatic.
Yep.
Very nicely restored. It's got some SE, which was another body style dressing to it. But what a cool car.
Yeah. I think this one was born with a 383, but it's got a 440 in it now, and it's a beautiful, beautiful car.
And, if the original motor's gone and not to be found, then no harm, no foul.
Right.
Now, if you took it out and chunked it and you had the original motor, then I would say it's a little bit of a party foul.
Right.
I like to see them, if they're original and can stay original. And the ones that aren't original because the motor's long gone, then I get that. Then you can do whatever you want. You can have free reign. And that's my rule.
Absolutely.
Like I have anything to do with anything, right? How about the 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 hardtop? We were talking about this car a little while ago.
Another beauty.
Nutmeg over black. Almost a perfect build.
Yeah.
I mean, I could find a little something here.
And it's like you said, the body style is just a Fairlane. So when you walk by it, you just walk by it.
You go, oh, there's another Fairlane. Okay, maybe this one's got a 501 cubic inch stroker, Tremec manual tranny, Willwood brakes, Morrison chassis, upgrade. I mean, it checks all the right boxes for a resto mod. And I'm sure this was one of those ones that the original motor was either a 6-cylinder or it was,
small V8.
Well, I mean, 1966 is only 50 years ago. Is that right? I don't even.
It is. It's almost 60 years ago. It's almost 60. It's 58 years ago.
It's just a Fairlane, and then
wow.
Then you
Pop the hood. You pop the hood.
Pop the hood, and then you'll know what it is.
It's amazing. Amazing.
How about the 1954 Chevrolet 3100 series pickup? Saddle brown and shoreline beige over brown. Beautifully restored. Very interesting color combination. It's a color combination that you don't see very often in pickup truck world. Brown and tan for a more simpler version of that color. But this thing's beautifully restored. It's got a 283 cubic inch V8, turbo hydromatic 350. So it's a little bit of a some light resto modding going on here. Power front disc brakes and an oak-lined bed. Oak-lined. That's a term, isn't it, I guess?
Someone reminded me of those. Remember those banana pops we used to get as a kid on the Good Humor?
So the brown was the stick.
Sort of a brown yellow. No, there was two shades of ice cream, two colors. Anyway.
Chocolate and banana?
Yeah, chocolate and banana. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I don't know where. We got the orange push-ups, stick in the center. Yeah. And you almost choke on that stick trying to get that last little bit of orange sherbet.
I was from a small town. Our ice cream truck was the drugstore. There was no drive-around ice cream truck.
You didn't want to dang, to the clang,
Yeah, right.
They were great. Other new arrival, how about the 1975 Chevrolet Cosworth Vega, black over black? This is a survivor car. This is a conundrum car. Do you restore it? Do you leave it as it is? I mean, if you leave it as it is, it's got faults and imperfections because it's original. And this one is now, oh my God, I don't even want to do the math on this. It's 59 years old.
Right.
Oh, no. 75, 85, 95, 2005.
49 years old.
49 years old. Yeah, gave it an extra decade. Whoops. How about this thing, though? What do you do with it, though?
Yeah. I'd restore it personally.
I think I would, too.
I mean, there's not that many. I don't know how many they made because I didn't write this one.
It depends how much money you have spare, how much spare change you have. It's like, man, I really like this car. Drives pretty good. I'll just make sure it's safe and runs.
But it doesn't have invasive rust, so that's a positive to restoring it. When they get into invasive rust, then you start thinking, this is going to be not just stripping the paint off and repainting and redoing the interior. This is going to be structural. This is going to be a lot of stuff. And we see cars with invasive rust. I mean, it's not that they're not drivable. They're certainly drivable, but it's just something to be aware of. And it's certainly, when you have invasive rust that has started, it doesn't just stop for the hell of it. It keeps invasiving.
It never sleeps.
It does. Rust never sleeps, as our friend Neil Young used to say, or does say, or still says. If he still does that song, I don't know. So some of the new arrivals this week. How about the 1965 Factory 5 Daytona replica, World Rally Blue over black? That is a cool looking car.
It is cool.
There's just something odd duck about a Cobra Daytona. It's I don't know. When you look at it, it doesn't fit, but it looks cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that just because we know what it's all about, or is it because it's actually a cool looking car?
I think it's a cool looking car.
Oh, there you go.
I love that flat back.
Because of the aerodynamics.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or maybe not.
Well, that's what they did it for, but it didn't. It didn't work,
and it didn't add to the aesthetics either.
Right.
3,829 actual miles. I mean, I don't know that there's any other companies other than Factory 5 that are building these Cobra Daytonas. So. I mean, there's lots that build Cobra Roadsters without the top, but not many build the Daytona. Maybe they don't have the rights to. I don't know.
Right.
347 cubic inch stroker V8 with a T5 5-speed, and it's got AC. Which you get a little warm in those things, I would imagine.
Yeah, they didn't have AC in the
They didn't really, very well done and nicely done. All these cars you can find on our website, classicautomall.com, and also on YouTube, where we show our show, and then we also do shorts on these cars. Have we done one on this one, I think?
I don't think so.
Well, we should.
Yep. Well, we are now, since we're talking about it.
Since we're talking about it, it's going to happen. Right. Ding, ding, ding. Other new arrival, how about the 1993 Land Rover Defender 90 TDI 200 Firenze red and black over gray, 2.5 liter TDI 4-cylinder, a Leyland 5-speed manual, dry ice and wax oil undercarriage treatment. What the hell is that?
Well, dry ice cleans it off. And then
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know the dry ice part. I don't know the waxy oil.
I think it's an undercoating.
Okay. Tons of recent repairs. Got stainless steel brake lines, which is a good thing to have. And there's a little
CTSV.
A CTSV coupe Cadillac. Yeah.
Yep.
How about the 1923 Model T Runabout? Black over black, frame-off restoration at where? Richard Petty's garage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. How
that's
cool
provenance.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry, there's cars passing in the front here.
I know, you're easily distracted. Like a
squirrel.
Need a rodeo clown in here. It's distracting. 177 cubic inch L-head 4-cylinder on this Model T Runabout. It really was done by Petty's Garage.
Yeah.
Stunning black on black. It's a great fun driver. Got the 2-speed planetary transmission, which I never can figure out, but they're a little weird and complex.
Yep.
Pedals are
I don't know.
So. Other new arrival, how about the 1975 Chevrolet Malibu Classic two-door hardtop? When's the last time you saw one of these? Never.
Exactly.
You just don't see them.
No, they rusted out or they were overused.
Yeah, or something. Medium orange metallic over black, 2 owners. It's been garage kept, well preserved. It's got the numbers matching transmission. It's got a correct 350 L65 in it. Not sure if it's the original one, probably not. The interior is like showroom, dude.
It's amazing. It's a great time capsule.
It really is. And it's one of those cars that you wouldn't probably look twice at a car show or something. You might because you don't see them very often. I like those in the what were those? The Laguna.
Oh yeah, the Laguna.
Yeah, those were pretty cool cars. Other new arrival, how about the 1940 Ford 85 Series Standard Business Coupe, fire engine red over red. This is a cool car. And hot rods are not in my wheelhouse as much as a lot of things are, but this one is just really cool. And it's got a 1948, late 40s, 239 cubic inch flathead with Edelbrock heads, dual 2 barrels. It's got 12 volt, 3-speed manual. It's an older frame on restoration, but man, this is one cool looking. That red, something about that red, because so many of them you see are in black.
Period colors,
period black
and gray and dark
that
blue.
Tannish, odd color that they came in. So to see one in red is unusual. And not every car looks good in red.
Right. That's true.
I mean, I don't look good in red. But, that's just me. How about the 1993 GMC? Was that a
Typhoon,
frost white and argent gray over black, one of 115 in this color combination.
In that year. There was 518 in 1992.
That's your specialty.
I'll start talking. How much time we?
Divided by 3. Yeah. So it's got the AM radio, so that takes it down to, it's one of one.
Yeah, that's right.
4.3 liter turbo, 280 horsepower V6. That was a lot of power out of the V6.
Underrated as well.
And you mean underrated?
By GM.
It was more horsepower.
Yeah.
What would you?
300, 320.
Right. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like
not much more, but enough
to make a difference.
Make the insurance
enough to make it difficult to drive in the ice too, or a wet road.
Well, it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah, so, they're great. They're great in the snow, actually.
Yeah, with those what were those Gatorback?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Goodyear Gatorback tires that they had. I don't know they were very good in snow. I would say that that would be pushing your luck just a smidge. Wow, some of the new arrivals we've gotten in over the past week. The 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible. Sierra Gold and Adobe Beige over copper and tan. What a great color.
Love that color on it.
Yeah, it's not that Sierra Gold by itself, I don't know that it would be as attractive as it is with the Adobe Beige. That really just sets it off and makes it really pretty. And then, of course, the copper and tan interior. Florida car, garage kept, known history, a 265 cubic inch 4-barrel V8, 2-speed power glide automatic. And you say, only a 2-speed power glide. Those are great transmissions. There's nothing wrong with a 2-speed power glide. They shift nicely. They only have to shift once, less chance for things to go wrong.
Good.
How about the 1980 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, red, orange over tan? that red orange is an interesting color.
Yeah,
it's really, it's one that I don't really remember seeing it back in the day, but I know that I did. This one's got 38,000 actual miles. Numbers matching 350 cubic inch V8, correct turbo hydromatic 350 automatic, 10-bolt 342 posi axle. Very nicely preserved. I mean, 38,000 miles on a car from 1980. 1980 was 20 years ago, right? I always say that. 44.
44 years
45.
ago? Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I know. Hard to believe. How about the 1957 Mercedes-Benz 180D sedan? This has got a 1,767 cc inline-four diesel with a 4-speed manual transmission. Classic Mercedes quality, extensive service records. It's black over red. It is the prototypical Mercedes that you would remember from the 50s. You know, we didn't grow up. If you saw one in your neighborhood, it was going to be this one or something similar to this. It wasn't going to be
my neighborhood,
but it wasn't going to be a Gullwing or a 300 SL Roadster or something really sporty cool. No, it was going to be some kind of sedan with the quirky neighbor that lived down the street. We had a quirky neighbor that had a Studebaker with a bullet nose front end, like a 1940 Studebaker, and then another quirky neighbor had a something else like that, and it was just funny that it permeated to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Which was, big on Oldsmobile and Buicks and Chryslers. And
there's always that quirky neighbor.
Yeah. And then last but not least, the 1955 Pontiac Star Chief convertible.
Beautiful.
I love this car. Black and mist white over black and white. Long-term ownership. It's an older restoration, but you sure wouldn't know it by looking at it. It is really well
held
done
up well.
And held up well. I always tell people, there's nothing wrong with an older restoration because it'll tell you things that something that's freshly restored may not tell you yet.
That's right.
So there's nothing wrong with an older restoration, and the quality of the products back then maybe could have been better or worse. You don't know, but don't hold it against the car because it was restored 20 years ago. Look at the overall quality of the car. You can tell the difference. This one's got the 287 cubic inch Strato Streak V8, 4-speed hydromatic automatic transmission, all the options you could imagine. So check out those and any of the other cars, classicautomall.com. New arrivals coming in. How about the 1955 Ford Fairlane Sunliner, Raven Black and Tropical. What did I write? Rove. What?
Typo.
Must have been a typo. Tropical Rose is the color.
That's right.
Over white and magenta. 44,901 actual miles. It's got the 272 cubic inch 4-barrel V8. Ford automatic transmission, wonderfully restored. It's a beautiful car. Power brakes and steering, power windows, power seat, power top. I mean, all the amenities in 1955, you had to check every box for this car. I mean, that's the cool thing back then is you could actually order a car and check all the boxes.
That's right.
Well, there might be 6 or 7 engine options in cars. Camaro, 69 Camaro, there probably, I think it was 8 engine options. Or Chevelle, there was one of them had 8 or so options.